And the summer in the park, I think, was the last time I talked to you.
Yes, it was. And it was a great event out there, too.
Wasn't it beautiful?
Oh, it was. And we were just, while I was waiting and killing time, I was just telling everybody about the chance of a new fitness court.
Yes.
That's exciting.
That's very exciting. Since I'm a walker, and I love to walk, and I like yoga classes, too. So.
Oh, man. And we have a lot of good yoga classes down here, really.
Yes, downtown. Yes, you do.
RiverBend Yoga is really doing a great job.
That's what they tell me. I've never been there, but
where do you go get your yoga done at?
At my own house.
Oh, well, there you go. There's no place like home. You know,
I used to go to the gym and do it, and then the classes start being so random that I say, okay, you have to remember just to find your own vibe. But then I found someone on Facebook. I found a whole little thing, a class of what to do every day, and so that's what I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We are a week and a day away from Election Day.
Yes, we are.
And I've been, it's funny. We've had so many people on this show in Alton Godfrey and Wood River and the likes, and everyone, I think, is under the consensus that hit the fast forward button and let's get here.
Let's get this over with. You want to get it over with, see what's going on. I like stuff to be planned, and I wanted to not hurry, but I wanted to get there and then get it done, and then whatever the decision I have to make afterwards, I hope that I'm ready to make it.
Right. Well, and especially like this week, you all are still working. You got committee, and then you got city council this
meeting.
Week.
Yes, and it doesn't stop until May, regardless of whether you win or lose. So. You're still going to be making decisions. So,
well, and before we dive into this re-election campaign, and we talk a little bit about what's on front of your mind and on the Ward 6 residents' mind, take me through a little bit about your background. We've had you on the show before, but what led to the 6th Ward Alderman spot? I
was comptroller before for the city of Alton. I don't know if people remember that or not. From 1999, I believe, to 2013,
mm-hmm.
and I was settled. Thought I was doing okay. I had some grandbabies, I wanted to leave when I wanted to. And then I remember I called Alderman Fleming because someone had called me and said, hey, Alderman Fleming is not going to run. I was like, really? He said, you might be a good candidate. I was like, Then I talked to him about it. And he said, okay, I'll support you if you want to do it. So I did. I ran. He was helpful. He told me things to do, not to do. And Fleming, I give all credit to him and to God, of course, but I give credit because he taught me a lot of things.
Well, and take me through the differences because being comptroller, you're still hands-on and you're seeing a lot of stuff going through City Hall and that nucleus that it is in that alderwoman spot. What are some of the differences, and just, how you have to communicate, maybe relay a message?
It's a lot different because I have to deal with the alderpersons, but they come ask me questions concerning whatever it may be,
mm-hmm.
concerning the budget, whether the bills we're paying, or sewer or trash. That was all in that office at the time, payroll. Back then I was at the... I don't want to say mercy, but the mayor directed where I went.
Right.
Now that I'm I was appointed. So now that I'm elected, I kind of get to be my own little boss. I know in the big scheme of things, we're all one big family, supposedly. The 7 alderpersons, we try to make decisions together mm-hmm. for the city. Before, I could just suggest.
Right.
Now I can kind of put my foot in there and say, you know what, maybe we can, and hope people agree with me.
Well, and see, that's what I think so fascinating about this too, because you're right, it is a team effort, and I think sometimes whenever someone's newer to the I hate to say it, but to the game a little bit, there's a lot of that bull in China shop mentality, and and it's not just a one race thing; it happens all the time, and it's just what we talked about with a lot of candidates is the role of the alderperson. And whenever you're comptroller, did you get to kind of observe, some of the ways that the older city councils kind of operated and gone, not doing that one?
I give all credit to Mary Bowles, who was the city clerk.
She did a great job.
Yeah, she did a wonderful job because she kept them in order. She told them what they could and could not do. She gave them a lot of information on how to make a decision. And then Jim Shrimp, I don't know, he was a corporation counselor. Mm-hmm. He kept things under control. I mean, when things kind of got a little out of hand, he could kind of step in because he had that kind of I think it was one of his good characteristics. He knew how to calm the fears and make you feel okay. And even though it may not be a great idea, he could say, well, we can talk about that.
Right.
He would bring everybody down so that everybody was kind of copacetic. That's how it used to work. Now, and I understand some things are old and people want to update because now we have a lot more technology. And so everything is like on spot now. People come in with great ideas, but you can't push them. If it's something that's already been set in stone, you have to figure out how it worked. And then when you want to change it, then you figure out how to take care of those things that come behind that. And then what you want to add or change differently so that it continues to work, because a lot of people will get left out if there's no communication and you drop this ball and then you don't pick it back up when you move to the next level.
Well, and see, that's what I think happens a lot of times, just, from where I'm sitting, and it's a lot easier being in this seat, let me tell you, but it just seems like a lot of it is a communication issue with, and I'm not saying specifically pertaining to Alton, but, literally every government is, you have these projects or ideas that maybe aren't discussed in an open way, and it's not necessarily because you're being sneaky or anybody's being, behind the back with it. It's just not relayed right. And then something happens and the deadline doesn't hit and then things don't look too good.
Right.
So it's really important, though, like you said, to have that communication. And in your time, though, as Alderwoman, take me through just some of that collaboration that you've been able to have with some of the other alder people.
Well, I remember a big issue is that bridge, and we got those colors. And I'm a person who's real tight with funds and resources because that's just my nature. Yeah. But you know what? I really saw a big thing happening with that because it would kind of put us out in the spotlight, I believed. I know the bridge had to be fixed. We had to do that regardless. Right. But to add just a little bit more, I thought it was a great idea, but communication was a little lacking with the state and us and what could be and what couldn't be done. And it's all about communication because you have to learn. Right. If you're new to something, you don't know, you have to learn.
Well, and see, that was a big thing. And I know that became a bigger point of, concern, but we're here now. And that's the other thing, right? Yeah. Because things happen all the time, but you got to keep moving forward. It's like sports, right? The short-term memory of sports. You just got to, no matter what happened yesterday, you got to keep moving forward.
Exactly. That tournament's going on right now, and I've lost a couple of them already.
I'm already out. I'm telling you.
I'm still in, so
I'm
excited about that. I know.
I couldn't pick for losing, Stephanie. I'll just be honest with you. Well, and another thing that I find so important too is the involvement in the community. Whether it's volunteerism, whether it's, your own organization or, some of the other things that you've been able to do with events, take me through, do you do that? Is it something, the reason why? Because it sounds like kind of a pointed question, but it's not. Is it something that you've always kind of found a calling to? Was it just who you are as a person? Take me through that.
It's because growing up, it was 5 of us, and it was my mom, and she raised us all, but she raised us all to be independent. And she also raised us to remember where we came from and remember to always try to help the next person. Mm-hmm. So if I can help a child any kind of way, I'm on it. I have Stephanie's Place. Everybody knows Stephanie's Place for children. If my husband and I, it was God's gift to us. We know it was. And so we've taken that gift and try to spread it around. From the very beginning. I'm on the Alton Women's Home Association, and we give grants to 501c3 who help women and children. That's cool. It seems like everything I do, I want to help a child. And you know what? Because I believe they're our future for real, not being funny or being say la. Yeah. I'm not doing that. That is the truth, because they're the ones who are going to be. I remember my mom and my grandmother used to say, in the future, you're going to be the ones who are taking care of us. I really hope that you do this, and learn. And so if I can do anything to help our community and children as well, I want to do it. And so it's just my heart. It just really is. I realize that if this goes away, and I'm not an alder person anymore, I still have Stephanie's Place, and I still get to do things in the community. I love to take children places. I love to teach them things. I love people to come and see what the neighborhood is like and see what our children are like. Hoping, but against hope, I always hope that when I first started Stephanie's Place, somebody from somewhere else in the city would say, you know what, I want to do a so-and-so place, and maybe I can help the children in this community. I was hoping that it would jump around, but
it still can.
It still can.
can. There's no doubt about that.
Possibility.
Well, and let's kind of talk about the children a little bit in that future of Alton and in your ward, because I think a lot of times, Stephanie, it's really just a point of perception, because I think sometimes, and it could be because of what happens in news cycles or what happens, in terms of, you just never know. But I think some people don't necessarily get involved as much because they go, well, I don't know if I'm gonna, if that's okay, and so I feel like what could happen is if we all start kind of hanging out a little bit more, coming together, going to events all across Alton, and kind of creating this real village, because it seems like there's just islands, like sometimes where Ward, one could be an island to seven, and and vice versa. Do you think that way? I mean, I know I'm just kind of a thought of mine, but it's just interesting because you really do have a pulse when it comes to raising the neighborhood up. How do you think that could be easier done?
I want to say right now, I know we have 97, I think, volunteers we do have. That's how many shirts we have out there.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I know. And they come from all backs of life. We have them from East Alton, Thalto.
Yeah.
It's not just Alton. And they come when they know that we're going to have something.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. Yeah, I know that's a lot, isn't it? Isn't that a lot? My husband has a list where he goes down and sends that. And if we're going to have something, he sends it out. And then hopefully they come in. And we have students who were at Stephanie's place when we first started, who are in college. They come back and help us in the summertime if we're having. So, and it's also an opportunity for students at Alton High to come and get some points for community service. So we always invite them to come. We're on Facebook everywhere. Not myself, but I have sisters who love that Facebook and that TikTok. And they always push it out there. And just about, and I say our vice president, Miss April Pittman, she's always out there. She has great ideas about what to do for each event that we have. So we share it with everybody.
Right. No, and see, that was, and 100% you guys, and that's why I think you've had so much success with it, because it really is become this neighborhood thing and this really community thing. Mm-hmm. But, with that, currently in your ward and just going forward, for the entire kind of city in a way, do you think that there's a way that, organizations can get more involved to bring the community together? How do you see a way to kind of get the youth to realize how special this community is?
Well, since my Stephanie's place is in the 4th ward and not the 6th ward, it seemed like the 6th ward has always been back. We don't have any parks at all in the 6th ward. Ooh. But you know what? If just one person would say, I got an empty lot.
Yeah.
Let's do something on a certain day. My husband and I would jump on it. We know we're getting older, but we would jump on coming and try to help that community. Reverend Henderson's church in the 6th ward, it's on Viewland. He always opens his doors. So if we can have a meeting, we can come together. They do that. And they ask me to come sometimes. It's been a minute since we've had a meeting. But I like to go and listen to what they have to say. They have concerns, legitimate ones. Mm-hmm. We've done some things in the 6th, on Viewland and North residents. We've done some things there. Need a lot more done. I'm not even going to say it isn't. But we've gotten patrols. Mm-hmm. There used to be something called the Backpack Kids. They're kind of out of there right now. I think they've moved to someone else's ward, unfortunately.
Oh no!
But you know what I'm saying, and that's why I have I have some issues there that I really do need fixed. I have some houses that I think I might get down this year. I'm hoping that are just terrible. They are.
Well, and see, take me through some of the process of that too, because I'm sure when you're having these conversations, and they're legitimate ones, you're right. There is no doubt about it, and there's no dancing around it either. They're there. But I think the process is so important to understand too. Whenever you're talking with your constituents, so when you're having those meetings, or they're saying, hey, Alderwoman Elliot, this house has been an issue for a while, or this, is there a way we can get it on the list? What's that conversation look like for you?
For me, it's the fact that if you're not on the list, I'm going to report it and hope I can get it on the list.
Yeah.
And then someone from building and zoning, they'll come out and check it out and see, and then it starts the process. It has to go, and we have to find out who the owner is. That's a long process.
That's what I find so fascinating.
Long process, because you have to go to the courts, and then the courts have to say you can do this or you can't do this, and then you have to find out who it belongs to. Then we have to notify them. You have to. And what if they don't show up? And so you just keep on notifying until finally you run out, and then you can go to the court and say, hey, can't find them. Maybe they put it in the newspaper, they put it everywhere. If they don't show up, and then some places belong to a bank, and then that's a whole different story if it belongs to a bank. I have an issue right now that we are cutting grasses, yards and lots, and keeping them up for houses that don't belong to anyone, and the county is the one who is in charge of it, but we can't make the county pay for it. We have to pay for it. People, it's just a big, long process. I have this sheet, and Building and Zoning gave it to me, and I guess I should have brought it, but it's just lists of how everything happens, about how it gets to, and so in my ward, I've had some houses on the list for 20 years, I know at least.
Wow.
Yeah. And so now I finally so then once you get everything done and they say you can do something, you have to go and you have to do an asbestos. Yeah, that comes and then
makes sense.
Yeah. And then if there's no asbestos, then you're probably good to go. And then you come to council and we say yes it can or yes it doesn't.
Oh, man.
And then you have to send out contracts and bids for them to tear it down, and it's just a long process. And I know people say, no, you've been saying that for 20 years. I know I haven't been there 20 years, but I know it's been said for 20 years. I have 26 places on my demolition list right now, and I know that they made some decisions on Friday, so when I leave here, I can't wait to go to City Hall and see which ones of mine that are going to go out for bid, which I know I have 2 already coming up this Wednesday, but which ones on there that are going to come up for bid and we'll be able to tear down.
Well, honestly, it's just really important for folks to know that process, that it does take time.
You know what, I don't know if it's on our website or not, but you know what, I'm going to ask them, can they put it on there? If not, and then you can go on there and you can see what the processes are, because I don't remember them all. Nobody does, I'm sure, because there's so many of them, except for the person that deals with it every day, and that's the Building and Zoning Department. So,
well, and the city does have a really nice website to find a lot of good information about
you
that.
You can. Yeah, Jarvis did a great job.
He really did. And on top of that too, going forward, how do you think the city could better, fit the building and zoning issue? Because it really is, from all the cross wards, that it seems like that has become one of the bigger concerns of the city.
Well, of course, when you live somewhere and you buy your house, you invest in it, you don't want it to go down because somebody across the street or across from you. Look, first thing I always tell people is just call. Yeah. Tell your alder person, call Building and Zoning. They'll listen to you too. If you have to call Public Works, call Public Works. We're all servants, and we're all supposed to be serving, trying to make this a better place and community. What the website could do is give us a little bit more information if we know what it is we want. So if you don't tell us what you want, we won't know.
Right.
I always say, what can I do to help? And if I can't, can we compromise and try to get it done anyway? I mean, it's either yes or no, or maybe sometimes. You can compromise. Some things are definitely no's, and I hate to say that, but sometimes it is.
Right.
If the law says no, I kind of go by it.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. But if it's yes or if it's a maybe we can come up with a conclusion or a way to save it, the way to do it, the way to perform it, the way so that we're both satisfied, even though we don't get both all of what we want. I'm a compromiser. I just am. I think that if you can sit down and talk reasonably as smart, intelligent people who have ideas, sit down. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can reason together and come up with something that's a good solution for everybody involved.
Do you have a moment to stick around?
Yes.
I got to pay a quick bill. 9:43, a little bit of change to our conversation with the Alderwoman for the 6th Ward, Stephanie Elliot. We'll continue as part of our State of the Race coverage at 9:45. A little bit of change on this 24th day of March. Our daily show comes back to you next.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
no matter the season. Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Everybody said you're so good. They couldn't see and they just didn't understand. And looking in the mirror, there were fools at either hand. You shine a light on my life. You shine a light on my life. You shine a light on my life. And let me see.
Oh man, 9:47, a little bit of change on this Monday morning. Back with the Alderwoman of the 6th Ward, Stephanie Elliot. State of the race coverage continues. And, what's been on the top of your constituents' minds the last couple of months as you're getting closer to April 1st?
Well, I've been talking to them, and they have some issues still. Some have some houses next to them that they think that something may be going wrong there, something may be in the works. And I've talked to the police department, and they said they're going to help me out and see if they can work some of those issues out. They're also concerned about all the money that's being spent downtown. That's always a concern because there's I pay taxes too, and la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And I understand that. They do pay taxes. And the 6th Ward, we're in the back. So, you try to make the front look pretty to make people come your way, and then you try to fix up. Yeah. So it's past time for the 6th Ward. It's our turn now.
Well, I completely agree. I mean, you got that corridor right there, and it's a major thoroughfare. Yes. So why not utilize? And I don't know where the zoning is or who owns the properties, where and what, because I'm no expert on the land map of that. But it does seem, though, like there really is an opportunity in so many ways to expand over there.
There is. On Broadway, a young man, I've talked to him this past summer, and he's trying to build something there, and I've got him in touch with not building and zoning, but economic development, and they're talking back and forth. I'm not in it because I stay out of it when I didn't introduced and said this is what he wants and this is what he needs. Can you help him? Expect to see some kind of turnaround eventually. I do. He's working on that whole side of. It's on my ward too. Whole side of the street. There's, I think it was, I can't think of what building it used to be, but the company left and it just left it, and he purchased it, him and his wife, and he's now doing painting in there on one part for cars, fixing cars. But he's got so many great ideas from where he wants to have a farmer's market year round. He has places where he wants to rent out things too. So it's coming. It's not because I did anything. I went and looked for him. He said that's what he wanted to do, and he came in and asked, and I sent him to where he was supposed to go.
Well, it's a team effort, and that's,
I think so too.
And you got to do as much as you can, but it also on the flip side, you need folks that are willing and able, and it's right now it's just a little bit tougher, I think, for some folks to get some things done. And
yeah, it is.
That's why I think, you got to celebrate any victory you can, and you got it, because it's all about the way you're showcasing your community off, and if we're always talking negative, I think, and I get it's election season and all that stuff, but it just, it's a bad advertisement, I think, for the community as a whole, you know?
I want to talk about the good things.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And 6th Ward, we want some streets and we want some curbing and we want some more police. I mean, I know what my people want. They want some houses to come down. Yeah. When we're getting ready to get in that grass cutting season, when all things bloom, and then everything will start popping up everywhere, and then we'll have all kinds of lots that need to be cut. That's going to be a big thing right now. Right. That's one of the big issues. Street lights. I got a whole list of them where I needed in my ward. They need a street light, and I've been there at nighttime. They need a street light.
Right. Well, and see that, you bring, and honestly, you bring up a fascinating point, because I just had this conversation with Mayor McCormick and Godfrey on the show, and it's just something that I've been hearing from folks that are kind of watching my show just from the solar company that we had on at a time, and there's all these different community development opportunities when it comes to the solar thing. I don't know how good it works. I'm no scientist, and I don't claim to be one, so please put the asterisk right now when I'm talking. But do you think there's there could ever be a possibility of using a solar or a community array that supplies neighboring streetlights? Because there is a streetlight issue. I mean, you can't walk down half of these roads because it's not a safety that you can't see in front of you. So I didn't know if you have a thought on that. I mean, it's just an out of the blue thought, but it's one that I had with Mayor McCormick, and just curious.
Well, I tried to get solar. They called me and said, "Oh, Illinois has the solar program."
Yeah.
So I went through the whole process, and then when it came down to it, you have too many trees. So that right there blew my little chance.
Right.
As for solar, I have some solar lights in front of my house, and when the sun shines, it's great.
Right.
But then what about those cloudy days that we have? And unfortunately, we've been having a lot of cloudy days.
That makes sense.
So what happens then? Do you revert back to your electricity? I'm not all that big solar, and I know it's good, it's green and all that. But until we find a solution for what it won't cover, I would hate to jump to the other side and say, "Oh yeah, everything should be solar."
Yeah, totally. And that's just because I don't know how much strain that putting streetlights adds on to the grid or anything. That's the only reason why I thought of it. And it's a good point you make too, because it really is still kind of early. I think.
Is. I don't think Amber's even thinking about it yet, and I'm sure it's because of the bottle dollar. I'm sure it's because of that green line. Yeah. But I thought about it. I have a couple of streets where the poles are already there. The lights just aren't working. So then that's another issue. I try to, if your light doesn't work, you have to call.
Right. Well, and see, that's the other thing, too. It's the calling and reporting, too, because, sometimes, especially with, the public works and park and recs, it's just, there's a lot, it's just a manpower issue, know? And I'm sure that there's positions and all of that, are needing filled, and it's just finding the people to work.
Yeah. People don't understand. You have to go through civil service to get a job.
Yeah.
Somebody can't just say, "Okay, you can have a job." A lot of people think that's what happens. It doesn't. Right. You have to pass some tests. You have to do a lot of things.
It's a process.
And if you don't follow the process, you can't get a job.
You know what's fun? Because I was, when I was 15, because my grandpa did all the soccer stuff forever, and so at 15 I was working, or 14 in the day camp, and I still remember going through it's like, man, this is kind of a lot. And then the older I got doing the micro stuff, it's like, man, every year, and I would get so frustrated. But it's just because, you're working and representing your city, you know.
Right.
Makes sense. So with that being said, too, with streets and infrastructure and is that been on the top of the mind too? I'm guessing for Ward 6.
Yes, Ward 6. That is, and you know what? I think they're concerned about other things, but right now, you're always concerned about your basic needs. I know most people are.
Yeah.
And sometimes the 6th Ward, what I want to say, it's I love the ward because I'm in it.
Right.
But we have a lot of issues that have been forever, seems like. And for us to fix them all, that would be impossible. But for us to fix them and go on and try to do better each year, that is possible. And that's what my plan is. I have some things I want to get completed this last term, and then I'm through. And anything I don't complete, whoever takes over, or if the person wins this time, Kirsten, if he wins, I'm going to pass on what I've already shared with the people that are in my ward that I want to have done, and hope that he, if he does, I hope he abides by that and works on it. I really want those things done. I don't make promises. I just tell you I do the best I can do.
Right. Well, and see, I think that's the safest way to do things too, because you're being honest, you know, and that's just the way it is. And going forward, let's say everything goes well, and on April 1st, and you're looking at another 4-year term. What are you going to be looking at doing, in that first year or the next 4 years for your ward?
Well, the first year I'm going to fight for my streets to be overlaid. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. I want them done. Viewland, I want them to get some curbing. They need curbing because the water, when it rains, it just runs right into their front yard.
Right. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, and I want it, and there's a hill, so I want them. We're supposed to be having someone. I know the public works director said he would get someone, engineer and Paulie. They would go out and they would see how they can make that work so that the water doesn't flood everything else out in the process. But that's one of my biggest issues right now is Viewland. I want to get it completed. I want it done. If I can get that done, I'll say I've done something. Each year is hard for me to say what I can do because it's like I always get kicked to the back. And I don't know if it's because I don't complain enough, because I do complain, but I'm nice about it. I don't scream and holler. I just don't do that. It's not in me. But I try to reason with people so I can get my things done. I want that done. Also, they were talking about we're supposed to be getting the computers from Alton's Alton Works. They have those computers because we're supposed to be getting the broadband. I want that in my 6th ward. I want my 6th ward to be first. I'm just going to be honest with you. We've also set up where that the engineer is going to go through and see which streets are the worst. I want my ward to be first. Right. I want them to recommend my ward to be the first one that had their streets and their sidewalks. I want us to be first this time. We're always last, it seems like. I want us to be first. I mean, I think it's that time. It's time for the back, because eventually whatever's in the back comes to the front. Right. People are going to see it. And so you can fix first. You can fix downtown, which is great, wonderful. You're supposed to do that. But if you don't get the ones that are in the back, eventually people are going to drive through and they're going to see.
Well, and too, I mean, there's just so much more there that you can invest in for residential and really have families come in. And it really is, I mean, you're a 4-minute drive from downtown anyway in the 6th ward, or you could be right on Broadway for half of it. So, I mean, why not? And so I get what you're saying. And I think that's such a frustrating part too, because if I'm in Upper Alton, and I live in North Alton, I'm in Ward 2, so I feel like we get taken care of pretty well. And I do feel like, though, when it comes to, wards 4 and 5 and 6, on the other half of the city council table, honestly, I ought to be honest with you, it just seems like it just takes a little bit more effort on your guys' ends.
It does. That's the truth. Yeah, you just have to go and you have to talk to them. I like to build relationships with the department heads because I want things done. You treat people right, they'll do a little extra for you. I know that.
So let me ask you this, my final question before I give you your closing thoughts here. What would Alderwoman Elliot now tell Alderwoman Elliot when she first got into office as Alderwoman?
Oh my gosh, this is what I would say to her. Listen, Stephanie, I know that you want things done real fast. It doesn't work like that in government. So what you do is you fight the fights. Some of them you give up so that you can get something later on. Don't just keep plunging ahead, because if you do, if you don't get along with those people who make things happen for you, it won't happen. Yeah, that's what I would tell her. Just be patient. Take your time. Think it out. You can't please everybody. I think Abraham Lincoln said that you can't please all the people all the time. And some of them some of the time, and some of them none of the time. You have to remember that, because if you don't, you'll always be fighting that demon at home once you get home, and you'll take it to your husband and you'll be like, like screaming and hollering. But you know what? Because he's a patient man, he put up with it. But now I know I go home, I don't have to do all that. I just tell him. I said, hey, this is what happened. And this is how I think I can work it out. He listens, doesn't answer it for me, and I appreciate that.
That's really cool. Yeah. I like that a lot. Well, Stephanie, before I let you go, what is your final thought to the Ward 6 residents a week and a day until they make their decision on if you're staying around for another 4 years?
If you like me and you think that I've done things that you wanted to see done, if you think you can trust me, if you believe that I say what I say I'm going to do, it may take a long time. It does. But if you do, and you consider me for another term, this is my last one, and I promise you, I ask that you vote for me for April 1st.
Alderwoman Elliot, it's always a great pleasure talking to you, and just keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much, CJ.
No problem. We're rolling around to 10 o'clock here in downtown Alton, the heart of the 618. It's our daily show on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. More coming your way with Lewis and Clark Community College, and we'll see what else I can do on this Monday morning and see if I can stay out of jail.